I've got boba today. Well, it's not boba, it's red bean. And I don't have much to talk about. But I would like to talk about friendship. Me and one of my friends, it's an Asian friend, just came back from a trip to Marshall's. Clothing store, Marshall's. Bought some cool clothes. Met up with two other friends, who are currently working on something big for Christmas. It's gonna be huge, right? I don't know. They won't tell me. And in a little bit, me and my friends are gonna go play some video games. We're gonna play some Minecraft with each other. So where can we take this? Earlier, I was playing a game with one of my friends, and in said game, there is a progression that you can do, and it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of thinking and brain power. And the progression is the most fun part about this game to this person. It's what they've been doing in it since they started, right? All of a sudden, some guy comes in. He's one of their friends. And what this person's doing is they come in and they start helping my friend, through all of the difficult parts of the process, and they start doing it for them, and this person clearly knows the best way to do it, right? So he's coming in and basically fast tracking us through it. And my friend pulls me aside and he says to me, I really wanted to do this myself, I'm kind of mad because I kind of wanted to do this myself, and I don't like that this guy's coming in here barging in, and I'm not friends with this guy. I don't really know him, but from what I get to see, he kind of he from what I'm seeing, he's not noticing anything that he's doing is bad or wrong, and it's not his fault because, and I told my friend this right after, I was like, why didn't you say something then? And it's not his fault, I don't think, because no one said anything, right? And this guy just thinks he's coming in and helping. He was talking to me on the side and saying something along the lines of, oh yeah, I'm just coming in here and I'm helping you guys upgrade your stuff. And I realized after sitting there silently and listening to him and my friend go back and forth, him trying to help my friend through it, and my friend clearly not wanting to turn down the help, but also, not trying to sound rude, but also clearly not enjoying what's going on. And it occurred to me that even though I was there and I knew what the problem was, that I wasn't about to be the one to say, actually, don't help us. We don't want your help. We want to do it alone. So, what can I glean from this? I can glean from this that it is harder than you think to speak your mind, especially when you're receiving something. It's kind of just a situation where you have to accept it, even if you don't like it, and move on, right? You can't just have someone gift you something and then go ooh, but I actually didn't want that. Here, have it back, right? That's not nice. And so it's a harder situation than it looks. That's something that we can glean from it. B, we can also glean from this? Oh man, I had something in my head. I don't think it's gonna come to me anymore, but what can we think about this in this situation? I honestly think that it's an inevitable thing in life that there are going to be times when you want something done your way and then it's done another way by no fault of anyone. Like naturally, you can't turn down gifts unless you want to be seen as rude, and people have to give you gifts if they don't want to be seen as rude. And then if for some reason in your head, and this has happened to me before, like I don't play certain games with my friends because they're much better at them than me, and I would rather go through it myself and learn how to play, right? Those are certain things. And what I've done in those situations is I've accepted it in the moment, but then in the future, I just don't play those games with those people. And really, so it's kind of just like a matter of when it does happen, you have to learn to make the most and make the most positive thing out of a lot of things. Like in that situation, I thought to myself, you know what, might as well have a laugh out of it. And while it wasn't necessarily me who was being hurt by all the gifts that were coming, but I kind of felt the pain of my friend. I was putting myself in his shoes, and I was thinking to myself, there's nothing you can do. You might as well just make the most out of it, have a laugh with this person, and enjoy the ride, and maybe find something else to do the next day. I don't know. So anyways, yeah, me and my friend came back from T4, got some red bean milk tea. Before the T4 trip, I had a bad interaction. During the T4 trip and the clothing trip, good interaction. And later tonight, I'm going to go back on, and I think I'm going to try to have another good interaction. One bad, two goods for the day. It'll be totally fine. And if it happens to be another bad, which I'm okay with that, then in that situation, make the best out of it and be kind to those around you, comfort those around you if they're not having a good time. Because it can be hard. It can be hard to put yourself in others' shoes if you're not having a bad time, right? If you're having a great time, you're just having a great time, but oftentimes one person will be having an okay time, another person will be having a great time, and then maybe a third person will be having a shitty time, And the one person having a great time is like, let's keep doing this. This is so fun. And the middle person's like, okay. And the bottom person's like, already overruled, because okay and let's keep doing this overrules the bottom person who does not want to be doing it anymore. So, And if you're that middle person, like me in that situation, I honestly think that the best thing I could have done in that situation was speak up and be like, hey, I know you're having fun, but we'd actually rather learn this ourselves. That would be optimal, but I don't think that that's something I would do very often. So I think that this whole video blogging thing is something that I find that I actually really enjoy doing. And I was working on it last night, and I was posting the videos I've posted so far. Video 1, beginning, and video 2, food. And I found that I really like the process of making the audio sound listenable, finding a picture for a thumbnail, and last night I last second edited some words on top to see if it looked good. I thought it looked good. Maybe gonna make them more vibrant, more poppy in the future. I like writing descriptions, I like doing the whole process and uploading the video, and I actually look forward to making the videos too. I was thinking, like, all yesterday and all today, I was like, feel like I should have something to talk about. I didn't have anything to talk about, really. But I think that even in a situation where I don't have anything to talk about, it's good to try and recap what's going on in your day-to-day life. Because when you recap it, you can reflect. Obviously, that's the whole point of these, is reflection. I think maybe I should try and loop all of these videos back around to reflection. And I've been talking about this with one of my friends, about how it's much easier to reflect on things once you've thought about them, and once you've had them told to you, and then thought about them, and now you're speaking. So when you speak, the ideas in your brain flow off your tongue, right? And they flow forward without you really thinking about it, almost. I think when you write, it's different. When you write, each word that you write is very often thought through, unless you're really in a mode, and then you're writing and you're like just putting words on paper, and it's just art, right? But a lot of time I think writing is like a logical, one word at a time thinking. And I don't know where I was going with that, but oh, I do. When you're speaking, it's more just like flow. So I think that having a little bit of time for your brain to digest things, digest what's going on in the day, reflect on it, and then speak it, and then maybe reflect on it again after. I think every time you reflect on a situation, you get something new from it. Yeah. So that's the whole point of these videos. I think towards the end of them, I'm going to try and loop the conversation back around to reflection. And maybe think of what I could have done better in a certain situation. And, the point is not to bash yourself for doing the wrong thing. But the point is to acknowledge that maybe the actions you did in the moment weren't necessarily the correct actions. And once you acknowledge those things, don't beat yourself up over it. It's a big part of it. You don't want to feel inadequate. I've been feeling a little inadequate about certain things recently, but I think the most important thing is to not beat yourself up over something that's happened, and instead to reflect and think of what you could have done better. And once you acknowledge what you could have done better, then in the future you might make a better decision. Again, it's pretty easy to do that. As long as your decisions are guided by kindness and love, then you're not going to make bad decisions. You could make accidental decisions, but you're not going to make bad decisions on purpose. I love red beans. Until next time.